Hi there, I'm Teva and this is my channel. Thank you for joining me. Today we're going to be doing a Pilates workout. It is suitable for beginners. I will give different modifications, different levels for certain exercises, so you choose what works for your body. You want to be able to do your workout and come back again tomorrow and do another one. I am going to be working with a small ball. This is just a children's ball from a toy store, but you can also do these exercises using a pillow. So especially if you are using these classes while you're traveling, you just got to grab that pillow off the hotel bed, and in fact most of the exercises you don't need anything. You can use your mat if you've got a mat, otherwise just put a towel on the floor or a blanket. That'll work just as well. So let's start with our warm-up. Starting with our warm-up, you're going to get the legs wide than the hips, knees nice and soft. Holding that ball in front of the body. We're going to take the ball up, breathing in. You're going to breathe out, sink the ball down between the knees, and you're going to go into a squat position. So I'm just going to show you from the side. Your weight is back in your heels, your tummy is lifted. So you go breathe in, and breathe out, squat. And breathe in, and squat. And breathe in. So we're going to work in eights. And in, and squat. Keep pulling the tummy in, knitting those ribs together. And squat when you go as low as what is comfortable for your knees. And last two, and squat. We have one more, and squat. Taking the ball up, soften those knees. Taking it over to the slide slightly, and up, and to the other side. And up, shoulders out of the ears, and side. And up, and side. You don't have to go far. We have four. That tummy zip the whole time. I want you to feel like you have a corset on. And two, you have one more, and one, and up. And you're going to just bring those feet right underneath those hips, knees a little bit soft. Breathe in with that ball. You're going to breathe out, take the ball down the front of the body, drop the head and roll down through the spine. Now at the bottom there, just make sure your head is relaxed. Shake your head out. Take a nice deep breath in and breathe out to uncurl. Your shoulders just plop back into place. Head comes last. Breathing in, ball up. Breathing out, let's go a bit faster. Rolling down or up. 2, 3, knees stay soft, uncurl. 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe it in again. And breathing out, soft knees roll down. 2, 3, let those shoulders and head hang and uncurl with soft knees. 2, 3, 4. Okay, we're going to take the legs wide, hopefully you're a little bit warmer now, into a second position. Now I want you to make sure that those knees are not rolling inside your big toe. Push the knees open towards the baby toe and zip up. Now if you struggle a bit with your knees, just go in a very soft plie. Otherwise, if you want a little bit more workout for those legs, you take it a little bit lower. We're going to take that ball to the side, or pillow if you've got a pillow. And we're going to imagine holding a tray with champagne glasses. You're going to take the tray above the head, rotating the arm, and back down. As you do that, we stretch the legs up and down, and lift and down. Now I want you to imagine there's a big beach ball between your inner thighs, and you are squeezing that beach ball. We have 4, and down, and 3. Keep zipping up the tongue, and 2, and down. We have 1, and down. Release the legs, change to the other side. Shoulders out of the ears. Push those knees to the baby toes. Let's go for 8. Rotate. Now remember, you don't want those champagne glasses sliding off your tray. 3. And down. We have 4. Keep zipping up that tummy. We have 5. And down. And 6. And down. 2 more. 7. 1 more. 8. And stay in your plie. Bring the arms to the front, shoulders out of the ears. Squeeze the ball, release. Squeeze, release. Squeeze, release. And every time you squeeze, stretch the legs, release. Squeeze and stretch, release. Shoulders out of the ears. Squeeze and stretch, release. And 4, release. And 5. Remember that beach ball. Squeeze those inner thighs. 6. And 7. And 8. Hold it down, squeeze that ball or that pillow. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take the ball a little bit lower, shoulders down, squeeze. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stretch those legs, give them a shake. Let's go back into that plie. squeeze, take the ball forward. Bring it in, release the squeeze. And squeeze it forward. Bring it in, release. Let's do that with a stretching of the legs. Squeeze them forward. Bring it in, release. And 2. And release. We have 3. And release. And 4. Release. 4 to go. Keep zipping up that tummy. 3 to go. And last 2. Last 1. And in. And relax. Shake it out. That's the only standing work we're going to be doing today. You're going to take it down to your mat. And we're going to sit on the mat. Right, so I want you to sit up nice and tall so that you feel those sit bones. Your knees are going to be bent. We're going to start off holding the ball in the hands. Now remember, anytime if you need to stop and have a sip of water, you do that. Just pause the video, have some water, and then come back. So start sitting up nice and tall. You're going to tilt the pelvis around the spine. Shoulders are out of the ears. You're going to roll those shoulders behind the hips. Make sure you are staying in that tilted, scooped spine. You're going to come back into a rounded spine. And then sit up really tall with a nice long back. So we breathe in at the top. Breathe out to tilt the pelvis and roll back, shoulders behind the hips. Hold it there for a breath in and breathe out to come back into your C curve and lengthen. And again, breathing in nice and tall. Breathe out, tilt that pelvis, scoop and roll it back. Hold for an inhale. Exhale to come back into your C curve. And lengthen it up. Let's do one more of those. And tilt that pelvis. Scoop the tummy into the spine and roll it back. Can you hold it there? We're going to tap the ball across the knees, up and to the other side. 2 and 3. Keep that pelvis tilted. Keep that tummy scooping into the spine instead of bracing outwards. Last 2 to go. Hold it to the center. Round that spine. Sit it up nice and tall. Make sure those shoulders are nice and relaxed. Again, you're going to tilt that pelvis round and shift the shoulders behind the hips. Now this time you're going to float one leg up, lowering it down. Float the other leg up, lowering it down. Come into your C curve and sit up nice and tall. And again, breathe in tall and breathe out, tilt and rolling it back, shoulders out of the ears. Lift one leg and lower. And 2 and lower. We have 3 and lower. We have 4. And coming into your C curve, sit it up nice and tall. Let's do that 2 more times. Breathing out, tilt the pelvis, shift the shoulders back, and 1. And lower, and 2. Now remember, if you're not holding your ball, you're holding your pillow. And 4. And into your C curve, or you can do it without the ball. And tilt, rolling it back. We have 1. And 2. And 3. 1 more. Round C curve, sit it up nice and tall. Now you're going to stretch those legs out in front of you. You've got your ball or your pillow, you're holding it there. Start off by tilting that pelvis so the shoulders stay on top of the hips. You're going to now shift back. Now keep going, rolling all the way down to the floor. And as you get onto the floor, I want you to make sure you don't arch the back. So you've got to really engage that core. Keep that pelvis tilted. Now here comes the part where you've got to really think about the ribs. Knit those ribs together so they don't flare open as you take the ball over your head. You're going to breathe in, lifting your head and hands. You're going to breathe out to reach up. And now I want you to take it over, but you're not slouching and collapsing. You're scooping the tummy in, shoulders over the ears, reaching for the ball, but reaching back through the lower back. Sitting it up nice and tall. And breathe out to tilt. Roll it down all the way to the floor. Taking those arms overhead without the ribs flaring. Breathe it in, head and hands. Breathing it out, reaching up and over. Big scoop, rounded C curve. And sit it up nice and tall. 2 more times. And tilt. Rolling it back. Zip up that tummy. Ball goes overhead without ribs flaring. Breathing in, head and hands. Breathing out to reach it up and over. And sitting it up tall. We have 1 more. And tilt. Rolling it down. Taking the ball overhead. Watch those ribs. Breathing it in, head and hands. Breathing it out to come up and over. Sitting up nice and tall. We're going to do 1 more to stay on the floor. And tilt that pelvis, rolling it down. Stop with the ball above the nose. Bring one foot in, bring the other foot in. Now we have the feet onto your mat. You now have the feet in line with the sit bones, and that ball is over the head. I want you to zip up that tummy, and I want you to think of your pelvic floor. I will not fart, I will not weep. I know it's not a nice thought, but it does help you to access those muscles. So you're thinking of holding in your wheel. You're going to float one leg up to tabletop. Now I want you to make sure that that back doesn't arch when you do that. You've got to really use the core to keep the back nice and still. And lowering it down. Without losing that connection, float the other leg up. And lowering it down. Let's do a few more of those. We go float and lower. And float, keep that tummy lift, and lower. And 3, and lower. 1 more. 4, and lower. Now you're going to float that leg. You're going to hold the ball in the same arm as leg. Your other hand is on the floor for support. Now we extend the ball and leg away from each other, making sure that the back doesn't arch off the floor. So you've got to really keep that connection. Now the lower you go, the more challenging it is for the core. So if you're very new to this, you don't have to compete with anyone. Rather work where you're not going to let the back arch off the floor and you can feel your core is working. So you're on a diagonal. If you want more of a challenge, you take it further away. So we go for 8. And we go. Breathe out, breathe in. And 2. And in. We have 3. Then you can do this without the ball in the hand, just using the arm and the leg. We have 4 to go. 4. And in. And 3. And in. 2 more. And in. 1 more. And in. Lower that foot down. Shake everything out. Change balls to the other hand. Other arm on the floor, reaching towards the heels. Zip up that tummy, pelvic floor, belly to spine. Float the other leg up. Legs go. 8. And in. Remember to keep those ribs and hips knit together. Imagine you've got a chopstick between your rib and your hip. And you don't want that chopstick to go point and in. We have 4. And in. Don't forget to breathe. 2. And in. 1 more. And in. Lower that foot down. Shake everything out. Now you can repeat that again. I'm going to show a more advanced version. We're going to have both hands on the ball. You're going to engage that core, float the leg up, and we go for 8. 8, and in. And 7, and in. This is level 2. 6, and 5. We're almost there. Check those ribs. 4, and 3. Again, remember you can do it out the ball. We have 1. And then place the foot down. Make sure you've got pelvic floor working, belly to spine, float the other leg, we go 8. And in. 7. Check the rib cage. 6. And in. 5. Now this is your level 2. You have a level 3 coming up. So again, you can skip at level 1 for all 3 sets. And 7. 1 more. And 8. And gently lower that foot. Shake everything out for a moment. Now we go to level 3. Engage the core, pelvic floor, float one leg. Now when you float that other leg, make sure that back doesn't arch off the floor. We're going to alternate sides. So we go 1 and in, and 2 and in. Now remember, if you are sticking to level 1, for this one you're going to do 4 on one side and 4 on the other side. We have 4 to go. We have 3. We're going to let that back move off the floor. 2. We have 1. And in. We're going to lower one foot, lower the other foot, shake everything out, and you put the ball between the knees. Remember to go get a sip of water whenever you need it. So now, we're going to put the hands down on the floor, again reaching towards the heels with those lats are engaged. Start off by squeezing hard on that ball, and I want you to hold that pressure on the ball. Pelvic floor, so suck in that pelvic floor. I will not fart, I will not weep. You're going to tilt that pelvis and you're going to roll up until you're in a bridge position. Now make sure those ribs are not flaring open, you are holding your chopsticks. I want you to stay in that bridge and we're going to pulse the ball. 8 short, sharp pulses. We go squeeze, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now keep the squeeze as you roll down, articulate the back into the floor, release the pelvis. Let's do that again. Squeeze the ball, tilt, engage that core, and roll it up. Keep those ribs engaged. We go. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the squeeze as you melt into the floor. Release the pelvis. Take a nice deep breath in. We're going to do that 2 more times. Squeeze the ball, pelvic floor, tilt, and rolling it up. Hold it there. We go. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and melt it down. Release that tail. You've got 1 more to go. Squeeze on that ball, pelvic floor, tilt, rolling it up. Shake the rib cage. We go. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and melting that back into the floor. Release. Take the ball out from between the knees because those inner thighs do get a bit of work there. And actually get the soles of your feet together. Let the knees pop open for a second so you can just release those inner thighs. Take a little bit of a breather here for 2 seconds before we go into our next exercise. Okay, gently bring those feet back. Now we're going to take that ball up to the ceiling, melt the shoulders into the mat, zip up that tummy, pelvic floor. I want you to start by lengthening your back, the back of your neck. Think of keeping that head on the floor. You're going to nod your chin and come up into a chest lift. Now the ball is just reaching, or the pillow is reaching your knees. I want you to check your pelvis. So we're not aiming to be in a tilt here. We are trying to keep the pelvis nice and flat so we can balance a teacup on it. Gently release the head and shoulders. And again, breathing in to nod the chin, lengthening the back of the neck. Breathing out to come up into a chest lift without tilting that pelvis. So think of your rib cage drawing in to bring you up. And releasing it down. Let's do 2 more of those. Nod your chin and exhale, chest lift. Releasing it down. 1 more time. Nod your chin and chest lift. Now holding it there. We're going to take the ball over the knees. This shoulder blade is peeling off back to the middle. Over the knees, shoulder blade peels off back to the middle. But the back of your hips stay equally heavy on the floor. And rotate and center. We have 4 and 3. Your neck will feel the work. 2 and 1, and release it down. Give that head a shake to release those neck flexors. It does take a while for them to get strong. And again, you're going to nod that chin, come up into a chest lift. Now I want you to find that nice connection. We're going to float one leg, lowering it down. Float the other leg, lowering it down, and release the head and shoulders. And again, gently nod, exhale, chest lift. Float one leg and lower. Other leg and lower, and releasing it down. You might be wondering why the ball is here. We're going to use it in a moment. Remember, all of these can be done without the ball. One more time. Nod the chin, chest lift. Now float one leg, keep it there. Float the other leg without losing that connection. Now you're going to lower the first leg, lower the second leg, release the head and shoulders. And again, nod the chin, exhale, chest lift. Start with the other leg this time. Float one, float the other. Lower one, lower the other, release the head and shoulders. And again, zip up that tummy, nod and chest lift. Float one and the other, lower, lower, release. We have 1 more and we're going to stay up there this time. Nod your chin, exhale, chest lift. Float one knee, float the other knee. Now put that ball between the knees. Put your arms down so that they are reaching towards your heels. Now I want you to tap the ball down, the toes down, and lift. 2. If you need to, you can put the hands behind the head to support. And 4. You can also do this with 1 foot on the floor, just tapping one leg. 6 and 7 and 8. Lower the head and shoulders, take the ball out. Gently lower one leg, lower the other leg. Shake everything out for a moment and pop that ball back between the knees. Now again, using that ball between the knees, you need to first find that belly button to the floor, pelvic floor. Put your hands in a little bit of a V so that you've got a bit more of a wide support. You're going to zip up so that you can float both feet off the floor. Now extend those legs up to the ceiling. We're going to bend the knees, tap. Knees on top of your hips, extend. And bend. and tap. Now when you tap, that is the part where you really need to use your core so that your lower back doesn't lift off the floor. Extend and fall and tap, lift. You've got 4 more to go. 5 and tap and lift, and 6 and tap and lift. 2 more. 7 and tap and lift. 1 more to go. 8 and tap and lift, and bend those knees, gently lower them down. Take the ball out. This time, the ball goes between the feet. So this is a bit more challenging. Sometimes we tend to lose it. You've got to kind of hold it with a grip like monkey feet. Take the arms out to the side. So now you want a nice wide support. Make sure that lower back is into the floor. You're going to take the legs over to one side. You will be peeling this hip off the floor, but not the shoulder blades. And back to the center. You don't have to go far. Taking it to the other side. Now when you come back to the center, use the core to get the lower back into the mat. And off axis. And center. Now you don't want to go too far that your shoulder blades peel off. Right? You also don't want to create any injuries, so you need to be very controlled with this. And side. You can also do the same thing with the knees bent. And rotate. And center. 1 more, rotate. And center. So whether the ball is between the knees or the feet, take those legs up to the ceiling. This time put those hands on the floor. You're going to do a little bend and then extend and pop the hips off the floor. Bend, extend, push. You can also lift those hips with the knees staying bent. So there's your level 1 option. And if you're really brand new, don't even try to get the hips high. Just think of pulling your knees into your chest. So you have 3 options. There's number 1, there's number 2, and number 3. And we've already done quite a few. Let's do 4 more. 4. We have 3 more. We have 2 more. 1 more. And release. Grab that ball, hug the knees into the chest for a moment, and then roll up to seated. We're now going to go into side run. So we're going to take it onto our side, and you're going to put the ball between your feet, or your pillow, whatever it is you're working with, or without. Resting your head on your arm. Take those feet a little bit in front of you so that when you look down, you can see them. I want you to really lengthen both sides of the body. And make sure that you are zipping up that tummy. So you don't just want the tummy flopping onto the mat, and we're not just sinking into the mat like we're lying on the beach waiting for our cocktail. You're really lengthening both sides of the body. Head is resting on the arm, and this arm is here for support. You're going to breathe out to lift the ball with both feet, so you're working into those obliques and lower. And 2, and if you want to challenge yourself, test your balance. 3, and lower. We have 4, and lower. 5, and 6, you have 7, and 8. Nice. Now, put this hand on the floor for support. Take this arm overhead. Now, this is a bit more challenging, and you can do this without the ball. I'm going to show you first a more advanced version. Bend the knees, tap on the outside of the foot, or the shin, and open. And 2, and open, and 3. Now, if you are struggling with that ball, or you don't have a prop, bottom knee is bent, top leg is straight. So this is your other option. And 6, or with both legs, and 7, and 8. So you choose the option that works for you. We're going to grab that ball. We're going to put the ball to the side for a moment and just rest the head again on the arm. Now this time I want this knee in front, and I want you to lengthen this leg. Really try and stretch it away so that you've got a bit of a space under your waist. You're going to flex this foot. Without the body bending, I want you to swing the leg forward so there's no folding in the torso. You're going to point the toes, and then you're going to swing the leg back, and you're going to squeeze that bum cheek like you are closing a door. And flex, swing it forward. And point, swing it back. This arm can support you. Flex, swing it forward. And point, swing it back. This is number 4. And forward. And point, swing it back. Number 5, keep zipping it up. And point, swing it back. Number 6, and point, swing it back. Number 7, and point, swing it back. Number 8, and point, swing it back, and release. So go grab your ball, your pillow, so we can swing over to the other side. Placing that ball or pillow between your feet, resting your head on your arm, making sure that you've got a nice long waist, you're sitting up the tummy, and you start the lower booty lift. 1, and 2, and 3, keep zipping it up, and 4, test your balance if you want to, 5, and 6, and 7, last one, 8. Now, depending on which one you want to do, you either take the ball away and bend your bottom knee, or we put this hand here, arm over, we go tap, and reach, and 2, and reach, and 3, and 4, almost there, 5, and 6, I'm going to show you the other version, 7, and 8, well done. Let's put that ball away, keep this knee bent, head back on the arm, lengthening that leg and hovering it, zipping it up, flex and swing it forward, point, take it back, squeeze, 2, swing it forward, shoulder out of the air, and back, 3, and 4, think of a windscreen wiper, and 4, and squeezing it back, and 5, check the rope is keeping closed, and 6, we're almost there, 2 more to go, 7, and back, make sure you don't arch that back, 8, point, taking it back, and release. Well done. We go on to our 4-point kneeling. So we're going to be using the ball on our 4-point kneeling. You've got the ball under one hand. You're going to take the opposite leg out behind you and you're going to roll that ball forward. Lifting that leg up, making sure both hips are facing the floor. You're going to bring the ball in, bring the knee in, and roll it out. And 2, rolling it out. And 3. The ball literally is just a distraction, so you can actually do this without the ball. And 5, rolling it out. And 6, this is not about height in the leg. Don't want to rotate those hips open too much. 7, and 8. Now you're going to keep that leg up, but you're going to lower down onto your forearms, holding the ball. You can actually rest your head on the ball if you want to. And we're going to do a little rainbow, tapping high, and open, and 2, and open, and 3, and 4, the ribs don't flare open, and 5, almost there, 6, and 7, you have 1 more to go, and 8, lift it up, bring that knee in. Now, I always like to do a little recovery stretch here for a moment. Take the weight off the shoulders. A couple of deep breaths. And go into our 4-point kneeling. So we're going to work the other leg now. If you've got the ball, you've got that there. Otherwise, just your arm up. And bringing it in. And 2. Now, we don't want to go too high here, otherwise we're opening up the hip. We want the hip to stay parallel to the floor. And 5, and 6, almost there, 7, and 8, keep the leg up, down to those forearms, holding onto that ball, shoulders out of the ears, up at the tummy, cross over, 1, and open, and 2, check those ribs, and 3. Now it's preferable to not drop your head on the ball, rather just extend to the top of the head. Nice to work the back of those neck muscles. 6, keep the tummy lifted. 7, and 8, and bring it in. Reach it back for a moment. Quick little stretch. And Uncurl. Shake that head out. And now all we have left to do is a stretch. And there's your short little workout for the day. For today's stretch, we're going to do a seated stretch. So you're going to start with one leg out in front of you. This leg is either bent in here or what we call a hurdler stretch. Now this is very uncomfortable if you have problems with your knees. So if you're struggling with your knees, rather return the leg to this position. So you work where it's comfortable for you. You're going to take your body forward and reach towards your feet. Now there's no competition here. You take it just to where you feel the tension in the back of the leg. So depending on how flexible you are, and then just hold yourself, don't bounce, and breathe into that position. You're aiming to get a hamstring stretch. So you might find if you're in this position that you feel a lot of the stretch in your back, because also a lot of us are quite tight in the back. So then you want to really flex that foot as much as you can, and rather try and reach your chest forward so that you're flattening forward as you pull yourself towards the leg. Regardless, wherever you are, you want to just try and hold that for a couple of seconds, breathe into that stretch. Out of that stretch, you're going to take the foot behind and we're going to go into a quad stretch, but it also opens up the hip flexor. So in this position, you want to make sure that that knee is nice and far back. If you're here, you're not going to feel that stretch. So the further back the knee is than the hip, the better. It's not so much about putting the foot close to the bum, rather it's about getting the knee away from the hip. And zip up that tummy even when you're stretching. Just breathe into it for a couple of seconds. And release. Now we're going to go to the other side for our hamstring stretch. So either in this position, or you can test both of them and see which one you feel a better stretch, depending obviously on your knees and what your body allows. And just breathe into that stretch for a moment. You might want to do both as well. For me, this gives me a better hamstring stretch, and the other one gives me a nice stretch in my back. So it just depends where you are feeling tight. If you don't struggle with your knee, try this one because you'll get more access to your hamstring there. And release. Now we're going to take that leg, the one that was in the hamstring stretch, and we're going to take the knee back. Maybe you want to push the knee further back than the hip. Zip up that tummy to hold it in. And just keep breathing into that stretch. And gently release. You want to hold stretches for at least 16 counts. Take one leg in front and cross the other leg over. You can either keep that leg straight or you can bend it. So again, depends on the flexibility. You're going to hug the knee into your chest with your opposite arm and rotate. So depending where you need to feel that stretch or how much stretch you need, you find a position that works for you. And remember to breathe and to lift up tall as you hug the knee into the chest. And gently release. Other leg in front, cross the knee over. So either we have our long-legged stretch, or if you need more of a stretch in your hips, hug the knee into that chest. And also try and get this bum cheek on the ground. And just breathe into it. Just a nice little corkscrew action. Keep breathing. And gently release. Thank you very much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed that class. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and I will see you again next time.